All right, hot topic today, HOAs. It's like a cuss word around here, you'd think. So, usually when I start working with buyers and I, come to the conclusion that they want something in a neighborhood, one of my first questions is always, are you okay with an HOA? Some people love them. Some people literally hate them with every fiber of their being. And so it can be a little dramatic. But so I wanted to kind of educate you guys on HOAs, why they exist, why they could be beneficial for you. I get it. I'm not in an HOA. Probably would never live in one. However, I do see the benefit to them. So I think it's important to discuss the benefit. In case you're home shopping right now and you've written them off completely, I just want to kind of go over a few things that might pique your interest and change your mind on it just a little bit. So HOAs generally are there to protect your home values. That's the whole reason behind them. It's not necessarily put into place just to write up citations all the time. It's not supposed to be a money maker of any kind with the fees or the transfer fees. There's a lot of drama behind the fees associated with HOAs, whether it's fines or yearly fees, quarterly fees, or even the transfer fees upon selling your home. And when it changes hands, there's always fees there too. But they're not intended to be money-making corporations. They're there to protect your home values. Where I have learned that it gets a little bit ridiculous is some people are not cut out to be policed by an organization that's going to tell you what tree you can plant or what kind of fence you're allowed to put up, what type of wood you're allowed to use, what type of stain you're supposed to, just getting down to the nitty-gritty like that. And if you go on vacation and your grass grows an inch higher than it really should be, you're walking home to a letter, put you in a bad mood immediately. So I get 100% why someone would say absolutely not, I don't want an HOA. But a lot of the neighborhoods that are around us, and I typically work the Hunt County area. In particular, I specialize in Cattle Mills because I was born and raised there. I live there. I love my people there. I serve on several boards there. And so the neighborhoods that I sell in Cattle Mills, their HOAs are really doing a good job about just helping property owners keep their values up. Especially when some of these homes are changing hands to investors, it holds those investors accountable. It holds the tenants accountable to not let things go completely just kind of off the radar, because you have no control about who your neighbor sells to. You definitely don't want their house looking like a pigsty with 8 cars in the driveway and grass up to their knees. So in that situation, I think it's really wise to have just kind of a bare minimum kind of HOA where you're paying for them to kind of keep up the street lamps and the common area. Every neighborhood usually has like a little entrance and maybe some lighting and stuff like that. So there are some benefits there to that. Where I struggle is if I'm going to pay an HOA fee, I'm going to want some amenities. I'm going to need a pool. And a lot of our neighborhoods in Cattle Mills and in the surrounding areas, typically if you're paying an HOA fee more than $100 a year, you are paying for a pool and a clubhouse, park, things like that, trails. And so if it was me, I would be willing to pay a few $100 more a year to have perks, and accessibility to a pool that I don't have to maintain, stuff like that. So I think we should not write off HOAs altogether. I get it. Like, I grew up in the country with no deed restrictions. And so when I moved into city limits, I had to learn, what the rules were there. And Then I moved out to the county to a house that had a lot of deed restrictions, so had to learn to comply with deed restrictions. And that's another thing, that even if you buy outside of the city limits and you're not in an HOA, I always pull the deed restrictions before your option period is over to kind of make sure that there's nothing in there that's going to hinder you from doing what you want to do. A lot of people move out to the county to have chickens or have a goat. I don't know what country people do. Like, they're into all kinds of stuff. That ain't me, but I'm just saying, some people, it's a deal breaker if they can't have a chicken. So I like to pull the deed restrictions to make sure there's no surprises. And a lot of times deed restrictions don't necessarily get enforced, but you don't want to live like that, just wondering if your neighbor is going to try to take you to court. So that's kind of my spiel on HOAs. You know, I'm kind of neutral. I'm kind of, you know, it's like, it's really up to you. What's your personality? Are you okay with it or not? I support you either way. I do think if you're looking for, you know, that neighborhood feel with, you know, community and things like that, an HOA might not be such a bad deal. And I think you should kind of just have an open mind if you're house hunting. And you know, depending on the neighborhood and how strict they are, you can probably decide from there. Some neighborhoods are way more strict than others, just depending on their bylaws. So that's another thing that we ask for during the transaction is we want to see deed restrictions, we want to see bylaws and things like that. That way you know exactly what you're going into. So yeah, there's a lot of things that your realtor can be and should be doing for you while you're under contract to make sure that you're, you know, not getting yourself into anything unexpected. And so HOAs is one of those things. So anyways, I hope you guys got something from this, and thank you for watching. Y'all have a great day.